Welcome to my latest 2023 NFL preview video. Today I am breaking down the Miami Dolphins, and here's how my preview videos work. I start off with 3 things I like about the Dolphins, followed by 3 things I don't like. Then we go over to yearly win total odds, break down the schedule, and at the end I give my betting recommendation on the Miami Dolphins. Let's start with the first thing I like about the Miami Dolphins. The first thing I like is the speed on offense. You have Tyreek Hill, probably the NFL's fastest player on one side. Jalen Waddle, whose yards per reception at 18.1 led the NFL last year on the other. No wide receiver duo is faster. At running back, you have Raheem Mostert, one of the NFL's fastest running backs. Now you add Devon Achane, the fastest player on the Texas A&M team and track star while in college. On most NFL teams, Achane is easily the fastest player on the team, not the Dolphins. Miami may not have the NFL's best offense, but they have the fastest, and they have multiple players that can score from anywhere on the field. Second thing I like about the Dolphins is their new defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. I thought he got a bad deal in Denver. If you give him that same Broncos team in 2022, that team would have made the playoffs, but that's another story for another day. Fangio is one of the best defensive minds in all of football, and if you've been watching my videos, you've heard me mention him before. He is a first straight A+ defensive mind that any team should want as their defensive coordinator. To go along with Fangio is the third thing I like about the Dolphins, and that is their secondary. You may wonder why I like the secondary of one of the worst passing defenses in 2022. It's because Fangio has a track record of building excellent passing defenses, and he has tools to work with. I'm fully aware Jalen Ramsey may not play this year, but if the Dolphins are in the playoff hunt, Ramsey could provide a spark to ignite a Super Bowl run. Without Ramsey, you still have Pro Bowl cornerback Xavier Howard and one of my favorite young safeties in Javon Holland. With Fangio, it's probably just a matter of staying healthy before Holland becomes a star. Former first-round pick Noah Ejionabi, and I apologize, I'm butchering that name, has ability, but so far has been the definition of bust. Under Fangio, we'll see if the talented former first-round pick can live up to that first-round status. Cam Smith is the first player the Dolphins drafted this year. This is a player they traded up middle of the second round to acquire. This is a player I love. During the draft process, Cam Smith was one of the most interesting draft prospects because he was rated everywhere from a top 15 prospect to a third round prospect, but you couldn't deny his man ability, a Fangio staple, and athleticism, and those are 2 things that should up in place sooner than later. Overall, this secondary, I can almost promise you, will be much improved in 2023. To recap the 3 things I like about the Dolphins, I love their offensive speed. I like the new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, and I am a fan of the Dolphins secondary pieces. Before I go over the 3 things I don't like, make sure you smash that like button. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out big time. Now, 3 things I don't like about the Miami Dolphins. First thing I don't like about the Dolphins is they have to rely on Tua's health. He didn't stay healthy at Alabama and hasn't yet played a full season in the NFL. When he is the starting quarterback, Miami can compete with anyone, but he most likely won't play all 17 games this year. Signing Mike White this offseason was smart, and hopefully you don't see him often, but you can almost guarantee he will get a few starts this year. Second thing I don't like is who is wide receiver number 3. Miami's third leading receiver last year was Mike Gesicki, who left in free agency. After that, it's running back Raheem Mostert, then Trent Sherfield, who also left in free agency. The Dolphins' number 3 wide receiver is currently Cedric Wilson Jr., who had 12 receptions last year. Hill and Waddle started all 17 games last season, but if either goes down, Miami does not have an answer. In this year's draft, they forfeited the 21st pick in the draft, and picks 20 through 23 were all wide receivers, and all of these players would be the Dolphins' wide receiver number 3 opening day. While stopping Hill and Waddle is extremely difficult, if either goes down, this offense will also go down with it. The third thing I don't like is Miami plays in the brutal AFC East. I firmly believe Miami is one of the best 15 teams in the NFL, but could easily finish dead last in the AFC East. While Mike McDaniel may not be on the hot seat, it's worth noting that Brian Flores finished 10-6 and 9-8 before he was fired, and McDaniel was 9-8 year 1. A losing record could cost McDaniel his job, and we'll go over that when we go over the schedule. First, I want to recap the 3 things I don't like. First, you have to bank on Tua's health. No wide receiver number 3, and Miami plays in the tough AFC East. Now let's look at the Dolphins schedule. Before I break down the schedule, the yearly win total odds for the Dolphins are at 9.5 wins. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, check out this video here for understanding yearly win total odds. Now, the first thing I look for is Miami home games in September. It's an old school thing, but under Don Shula, Miami was almost unbeatable at home in the month of September. The Miami heat and humidity is something exceptionally difficult to adjust to, so they do have a very big home field advantage in the month of September. Miami only has one home September game, and 3 out of the first 4 games are on the road. Miami starts off on the road, but 4 out of the final 5 games are at home. If you remember, Jalen Ramsey could be healthy and back during this home stretch, so if Miami can hover around 500 till December, adding Ramsey could be very dangerous. When I look at the Dolphins schedule, I see the week 10 bye and think Miami really needs to be at 5-4 or better to seriously consider going to the playoffs. While 3 out of the first 4 games are on the road, the next 2 are at home. In my opinion, the Dolphins' first 3 home games are extremely winnable, and New England has famously struggled in Miami. Now, week 9 is a fun game in Germany versus the Kansas City Chiefs. In my opinion, a 4-0 start at home might be necessary because I don't see a win versus Kansas City in Germany or in Philly. Now, Buffalo on the road is always tough, so I think the first 2 games to start the season might be the Dolphins' 2 most important games on the schedule. I firmly believe if Miami can just win one of those first 2 road games, then they can get to the bye at least 5-4. If Miami starts the season 0-2, I really don't see a way they can get a winning record before entering the bye. Now, Miami does play 4 out of the final 5 games at home, but those final 4 games are just brutal. Would I bet on Miami? Absolutely not. The talent is there to win 10 games, but with a tough schedule and Tua's availability always in question, my play would be under 9.5 wins. Currently, the under is the popular play, but I did find Caesars at -115, which isn't bad, but not a number I would personally recommend. The over on most places is currently at even money, so if you believe in Miami, place that bet on the over. Now, this is my opinion, but I really want to hear from you. What will the Miami Dolphins do in 2023? Drop a comment below and let's talk football. All 32 of my breakdowns are listed on a playlist, and tomorrow will be the Los Angeles Chargers. So I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow.